Mandukya Karika 217 says, Anichitta atharajyo, un-decaying vikalpita, sarpadharadi vishvavis, tadvat atma vikalpita, as a rope whose nature has not been well ascertained, is imagined in the dark to be various things, like a snake, a land of water, etc. So also is the self, imagined variously. If previously the rope has been known in its real nature, the imagination of snake etc. would not have been possible. Similarly, the self has been variously imagined because its true nature of pure intelligence different from cause and effect etc. has not been ascertained. Verse 218 says, Nishtitayam yatharajvam vikalpo vinivarte rajju eveti so advaitam tadvat at vinishaya. All illusion on the rope ceases, and the rope alone remains. When the rope is ascertained to be nothing but the rope, so also is ascertained about the self, from the conviction about the self, that self indeed is all this. Chandogya Upanishad 725:2. Self is without anterior or posterior, without interior or exterior. Vedanta Upanishad 2519. Since he is coexistence with all that is external or internal, and since he is birthless, Mundaka Upanishad 2 and 2, un-decaying, immortal, undying, fearless, Vedanta Upanishad 4:25, one only without a second, Chandogya Upanishad 4:1, etc. Verse 219-20 says, Pranadi bhi anantestu bhavai etai vikalpita mayistha tasya devasya rajayam mohita swayam. The self is imagined to be the infinite objects like vital force etc. This is the maya of the self-effulgent one by which he himself is deluded. Pran iti pranvida, bhutan iti tadvida, guna iti gunvida, tattvan iti so tadvida. Those who know vital force consider the vital force to be reality. The knowers of elements, earth, water, fire, air, consider the elements to be so. Knowers of quality, tattva, rajas, tamas, cling to the qualities, and knowers of categories, self-ignorance, siva, swear by them. Verse 2:21-22 says, Pada it padvida, Visya it tadvida, Loka it lokvida, Deva it tadvida. Those acquainted with the quarters, call it quarters, those with objects, the objects, those with lokas, the lokas, those with devas, the devas. Veda iti vedvida, yajna iti tadvida, bhokta iti so bhaktivida, bhojyam iti so tadvida. Those knowing the Vedas, call it Vedas. Those acquainted with sacrifices, call it the sacrifices. Those conversant with enjoyer, designate it as the enjoyer. And those with the objects of enjoyment, call it such. Verse 2:23-24 says, Sukshma iti sukshmida, Asthul iti tadvida, Murt iti murtvida, Amurt iti tadvida. The knowers of the subtle designate it as the subtle. The knowers of the gross call it the gross. Those that are familiar with a personality call it a person, and those that do not believe in anything having a form call it a void. Kal iti kalvida, this iti tadvida, vada iti vadvida, bhuvnan iti tadvida. The knowers of time call it time, the knowers of space call it a space. Those versed in disputation call it the problem in dispute. The knowers of words call it the words. Verse 25-26 says, Man iti manvida, buddhi iti so tadvida, chittam iti chitvida, dharma adharma so tadvida. The cognizance of the mind, call it the mind, of the intellect, of the mind stuff, and the knowers of righteousness and unrighteousness, call it the one or the other. Panchvinsang ityeke, khadvins iti chapre, ek trisang ityahu, anant iti chapre. Some say that the reality consists of 25 categories, others 26, while there are others who conceive it as consisting of 31 categories. And lastly, people are not wanting who think such categories to be infinite. Verse 2:27-28 say, Lokan lok vida prahu, asrama eti tad vida, stri pun apusakam lenga, paraparam thapre. Those who know only to please others call it such pleasure. Those who are cognizant of the ashrams call it the ashrams. The grammarians call it the male, female, or the neuter, and others know it as the lower and higher. Srishti iti srishtivido lay iti tadvida astiti iti astitivida sarve chetu sarvada. The laws of creation call it creation. The laws of dissolution describe it as dissolution. And the believers in subsistence believe it to be subsistence. Really speaking, all these ideas are always imagined in the self.